Hello everyone and welcome to another video in this channel. Today we're going to start with our portfolio review for May. For those of you that are new to the channel, we do this portfolio review every month, and now we have two submission forms. You can submit through Google Drive or you can submit through the Discord channel. Today we're actually going to be starting with the Discord channel right here. So last month we stopped at Burke, and today we're going to continue with Karen Velani. So I'm going to do a few of them right now because I have a surprise for you guys. Tomorrow, or actually today, at the time you're watching this on Friday, later down the day, so roughly at 10:30 a.m. Mexico time, which will be like 10 p.m. India time, we're going to go live. We're going to be doing a live stream and we're going to be reviewing some of the other portfolios, okay? So if you have not submitted your portfolio yet, you still have a chance. Let's start with Karen Velani, a 3D art student from Mumbai, India. And the first thing I see here is that you're working on environment art, which is really cool and actually really demanded. It's one of those things, a lot of people want to be character artists. Characters are super cool. I love doing characters. But environment, there's a lot of work for environment artists out there. So let's take a look. Starting with this AWP sniper rifle, the first thing I'm seeing, the bump map is too heavy. Okay, you're never gonna see an object that's being used by like the military or the police force or something with that much damage right here. And I know we tend to push the bump damage quite a bit because it looks really cool, but it's not something that you would see like on a traditional element. So for instance, here on my microphone, you're not gonna see any type of damage, and I've been moving this microphone a lot. So I would recommend tweaking or toning down the height value a little bit less, so probably like half or like 3/4 down, so that you don't have as much damage. I know the dirt again looks cool, but just keep it down because it looks very fake. That's the problem with dirt, and especially with dirt with this intensity, it's very fake. Now, subdivision wise, this is really heavy. I can see you're working with traditional subdivisions. This is not something that you would see for a game. I do think we have a little bit too much like information. You don't need to have this much like topology for simple pieces like this unless you're doing booleans or something. So I would definitely try to optimize the renders because this is definitely way too heavy for something that's not as complex. Usually if you have a really complex shape, you are expected to have like really complex geometry as well. But for something that's very square, very like machine fabricated, you don't need this much topology. So careful with that one. On this one right here, it's a good environment. It's a really not that good render. Okay, I'm not sure what you're using for render. It says right here it's Arnold, but I don't feel like we're really utilizing the engine to the most of its capabilities. I'm not sure if you're using an HDRI. I think you might not be doing it because the reflections on most of the metal things looks very fake. So it looks very artificial with just like the lights that you have in the scene. And that's why HDRIs are so important, because they bring in information that makes things look way better. You can also see like the box right here. Like you're missing a lot of textures on this piece in particular, my friend. So from my point of view, I would probably take this one out from your portfolio. I don't think it's up to the level of other pieces like this one right here. So this one's, again, not bad. It's looking a little bit better, more textures, which I like. The girl model definitely looks a little bit low poly compared to the rest of the environment, and I still feel like the light is not there. I'm not sure what you're doing with Arnold, but it looks very flat. Like I'm not seeing like really like the bounce light and stuff that I would be expecting from a scene like this. So if you're having issues, let me know in Discord and we can figure out what's going on here, because I feel like we need more like actual ambient light, and it looks very fake. It kind of looks like a PlayStation 3 game or something. So I'm not sure what the decisions you're making for that light, but it's not really working. This is looking a little bit better, and I think it looks a little bit better due to two reasons. One, the models are a lot cleaner. The light is a little bit more natural. I do think this light's a little bit too yellow, too intense. Like the exposure is a little bit high. I've seen this one before. I think I'm not sure if I've seen this concept art before, or if there's like a tutorial that does this specific one. But I've seen scenes like this one before. But again, it has this very like CG look to it, and I'm not sure what's happening or why you're getting this look, because you are using proper models. And if you're using Arnold, as you say right here, we shouldn't be getting this sort of like fake light. This looks very like a lot like what like things used to look like back in the early 2000s or 2010s when I was learning 3D. This is how scenes looked, because the bounce lights and everything, they were not as good. So again, I would love to know what specifically you're using to get these renders, because I feel like we're missing something there. This, on the other hand, looks way better. And I actually saw this one. You were working on this on the Discord challenge. You were asking people for advice. And you definitely changed something. I'm not sure what you did, but you definitely changed something, because this does look a little bit more realistic. The depth of the image, the bounce of the light, the way things are just like creating like the different depth. That's what we're going for. What would I do to this scene to make it a little bit better? Add a little bit of focal lens blur so that we blur out the background a little bit more, because otherwise we're bringing too much attention to the trees, and we want the house to be the main thing. The modeling is great. The texturing looks really good as well. I just think it's the camera choices or the lens choices that you might be making here. But yeah, other than that, I like this. I think from these pieces, my friend, you do have strong pieces. The house, this hideout, even this one right here, if you texture more of the objects. But I will probably keep just this two and the sniper rifle for your portfolio if you want to have like a really, really strong one, okay? Hopefully this tips help. Remember, guys, that all of these tips that I'm giving you is to help you. I know it might be a little bit harsh every now and then when I pinpoint specific things that look bad, but I'm doing this so that you can get the job that you're looking for and you can bring your portfolio to the next level. Now, before we continue, I want to remind you guys, we just released the newest course, the Sci-Fi Character Creation Volume 1, which is really, really cool, and we got a promo right here. Hey guys, Abraham here. We have a great news. Our newest course, Sci-Fi Character Creation Volume 1, is live. And to celebrate, we're not only offering our traditional discount, we're actually offering a discount for all of our courses. Over 60 courses available at a huge discount by using this promo code right here. This offer is only going to be available for the next couple of days from May 10 to May 15. So if you want to grab any of our courses, this is the chance to do so. I know some of you guys were asking for some promo codes on the last live stream. Well, here it is. This is the promo code that you can use, and you can get any of our courses with a huge discount on Udemy. This offer is only going to be available from May 10 to May 15, so make sure to use it. And yeah, if you want to start your 3D career, if this is the first course you're getting from us, or if you want to polish your skills and get your portfolio to the next level, this is the best moment to do so. Only from May 10 to May 15, and only using this promo code in Udemy. Go for it, my friends, and I'll see you on the next course. There we go. So we're going to continue now with Shashanth Elegant. Says, I sent a portfolio on Google Drive, but today in the video you saw that my letter was gone. I will be glad if you look at my work. Let's take a look. I'm sorry if I missed you last time, my friend, but let's go. Okay, so this one I know because we did this one last December. It's the mini series. It's available on the playlist, and it's the minion concept art, and it looks good. I can definitely see you took some changes from the concept. It looks a little bit more round in like certain areas, but I applaud the fact that you were able to finish all the steps, because it takes time and it takes dedication to finish a project from start to finish. Again, sculpting, retopology, UV texturing. Hopefully you can do the rig or the idle animation. I don't see a lot of movement here on the character, so I don't see if this is actually moving. But if you have it, then that would be pretty cool. So yeah, that's a great piece. I would definitely keep it. Usually I don't recommend keeping tutorial pieces, because when you're following a tutorial, it just shows that you can follow a tutorial. If you can apply all of the things that you learned from that one and do your own, like small little creature, that's going to give you way more points for your portfolio. This is a nice scene, but I've talked about this before. When you have a scene that you can do very fast or in a very small amount of time, it might not be the best idea to have it on your portfolio. I think this prop right here is really good. I really like this prop. The scene, not so much. I know I usually insist people do a scene for specific props, but in this particular case, I don't think that the scene is actually helping. Like when I saw the thumbnail right here, it wasn't really interesting, but now that I go down here, this right here, this is like studio level work. So I would probably get rid of the scene, or just keep like a couple of close shots, but make this your thumbnail. Like this really brings it into attention, and it shows that you know modeling, texturing, and proper presentation. So this is the piece that you want on the top. RGO grenades. Grenades are always very cool. The grenade was actually the first tutorial I did when I was starting here in YouTube for you guys. So yeah, this is good. I like this one. It's a fun little prop. I think it's well presented. This is a nice composition. Like solid. I wouldn't say it's like the best prop or anything, but it's really solid, so it's good. This one's really good, and I can see, I think you're not using the trick that I've shown before about the metal edgeware, or maybe you are, but it's very subtle. I would probably increase it a little bit more. I think you are using it, so I would probably increase the scale a little bit more, but this is a really strong weapon as well. I like it. It's a simple one. It's a simple weapon, but it's presented very nicely, and that's always important. So I would definitely keep this one. I like that one. The Nuka-Cola, very classic. I think this actually looks a little bit weaker, my friend, compared to the other elements. Like some of the shapes, I can definitely tell is very low poly. But see, even like the retopology here, this is not ideal retopology. Usually when you're doing retopology, you always want to keep a center line going down the center of the object, or as much as possible, so you can have symmetry. So these are like really faceted triangles, not ideal. You can see how we suffer with that here on the silhouette. We're not getting a super clean silhouette. So this asset, I think might not be the best element, especially because you have some really cool stuff, and then that one's not really helping. And then this one's really good. I will give you the same advice that I gave the previous portfolio, which is reduce the height information just a little bit, because it's definitely way too rough. I wouldn't expect this to be super rough, but the attention to detail in your texturing is really good, and your modeling is not bad. Like, I know these are not super complex assets. I mean, they do have a level of complexity, but your attention to detail on the texturing part of things is really good. So if you want to be a prop artist, keep going and try to do some more complex elements, especially elements that have multiple types of materials. That's really important for this type of portfolios. So you want to do something that has glass, wood, plastic, even something like rubber, so that you can use surface scattering. Like, if you combine different materials into a single prop, you can get some really nice results. One of the basic ones is this this thing for music. This I don't know what the name is in English, turntable, I think. So if you do one of this, especially the antique ones, like this guys right here, they had a lot of things like fabric and metal and wood and plastic and paint. So you can play around quite a bit with the material things and generate some really nice looks. I would recommend doing something like that, because you have a lot of like military and weapon thing. Doing something a little bit more organic might also be a good idea. Okay, so that would be my advice for you, Sashan. And I'm sorry I missed your letter last month. Hopefully I make it up for you today. Ooh, nice. Let's see. Sasha Gaffney. He's an XR content developer from Ireland. I was missing Ireland. You are going to be going into my map because I was missing Ireland. So a student from Ireland. Great. Let's take a look. So we got Lord of the Rings. This is a really nice sword. Did you do this for what? For a game or something? Reimagine. Created for Lord of the Rings Conquest Reimagine. Nice. So it looks like it was for a game. Yeah, this is really clean. Topology is okay. That topology right there can definitely be cleaned up a little bit. Like, I know what you did this, like all of this edges to hold that edge right there, but we don't actually need all of this edges to go into the middle. It's just nitpicking. Like, you don't really need to change this. I wouldn't change it. I'm just saying that if you want to go like a little bit into the extra mile, changing that would be good. Also, keep in mind that you went really heavy on the topology over here. Again, 9,000 tries is not that bad, but if you weren't to do this for a game, you would definitely need to optimize this a little bit more. But that's a great concept. I'm a huge fan of Lord of the Rings, by the way, so I can definitely appreciate all of the effort that you did for this ones. Yeah, this is good. Good weapons, but let's go to the character, because this character is really calling to me. Okay, helmet from Vietnam. Nice. I can see this is way low poly, or not way low poly, but more low poly because of these things right here. It says that you... What was this for a game as well? I'm not sure if this was for a game, but it's really good detail. Nice, yeah. This chord right here, again, if you can optimize this a little bit more, because that's way too much geometry for a very simple chord. I'm not sure what happened, because you do have an optimized like chord. Seems like it's like an optimized chord over here, and then we have a lot of lines. Maybe it's the texture. Maybe it's the texture that's playing tricks on me. I think it's the texture. But yeah, this looks really good, man. Congratulations. Again, really good attention to detail. Good normal map, 4K textures, great. Yeah, this is great, man. One thing that I recommend is when you do something that's really cool, like this helmet right here, try to do 2 more. And if you do 3 of the same, it looks like you were working on a project that you had to do a lot of the same things, and it shows that you're consistent, because consistency is one of those things that people look for in portfolios. Okay, so this character is good. It's a little bit simpler than others, or than your other props. I can definitely understand why that might be the case. Good textures. I think we can definitely improve the mustache a little bit. I'm not sure if it's painted. It looks like it's painted, but it looks a little thicky, like patchy. So I would try to use, or are they hair cards? Are they hair cards? They might be hair cards. If they're hair cards, we definitely need to improve the haircuts there, because they do look nice here on the fur of the pauldrons and the leather, but the mustache looks a little bit off. Chainmail is fine. Armor is fine. We definitely, okay, I was going to say, we definitely need to see a wireframe. Wireframe is fine. Yeah, it looks good. Nice sculpt, nice texture. Yeah, it's a nice character. It's a simple armor. I mean, we've seen things like Elden Ring, right? Where things get really crazy in regards to the design of the armors and stuff. This is a more simple approach, but it's a good one. I would definitely keep this one right here. So that's great. And then this one looks really cool. Really nice face modeling, my friend. Really nice. Proportion-wise, I'm trying to see because the hips, they look a little bit too like pushed forward or too thin. I feel like the legs are a little bit short proportion-wise, but the face is really good. Haircuts are a lot better on this one. And the decoration is great, man. This is a great character. Did you do this for school or for a project? Because if it's for school, that's just really impressive. Really nice. 81k triangles. Yeah, that's about it. Like that's about normal for a AAA game. It would definitely be like a main AAA game, kind of like God of War, Last of Us, stuff like that. Like you wouldn't see this in like Street Fighter or something. Especially with that many folds in cloth. But this is really good. Great topology, man. I can definitely see that you want to go for like the character approach, character art. That's great. You definitely have what it takes. So keep doing it, man. Keep doing it because this character looks really cool. Yeah, congratulations, man. I love this character. It's probably gonna be on the thumbnail, to be honest. So I'm actually gonna keep your your portfolio up there. Let's go with Nephilim. Nephilim, Daniel Jason. Okay, perfect. I can see a couple of props right here, Daniel. And remember that your portfolio is supposed to be the best presentation card. So I know that you know that there are some pieces here that might not be worth having, right? So right out of the gate, this first 2 pieces, I think they're not there yet. So for instance, this combat knight right here. It's a very simple combat knight. Everyone that's learning Maya, after 2 or 3 days of learning Maya, should be able to do something like this. So therefore, it might not be the best piece. It's not a bad piece. And if you texture it with a little bit more detail, you might even get a nice piece. But right now, I would definitely take this one out. This one, I also know that it was probably some sort of like exercise for learning blend shapes, which is okay. But there are proportion issues. There are some design issues on this character. So I don't think this character is ready here. I do applaud the fact that you were doing this for, it says here, for your animation short film. That's great. If you feel really proud about this character, then that's fine. But I can also see that you did this 5 years ago. And it is a good idea to, if you're not doing characters now, and you don't plan on doing characters, then maybe not having, or it might not be the best idea to have this one right here. Same for this big head right here, the sculpt. It's just a practice, not necessary for to be here on the what's the word, on the portfolio. This is really good. I really like this. For a prop artist, this is the kind of stuff that we're looking. Really nice rendering, really nice textures. Careful here with the seam lines. I can see a little bit of a seam line right here, and it's probably because of the rust. So if you're using Substance Painter, which I don't think you were because you did this in 3D Studio Max and Photoshop, it's also 5 years ago. So I'm a little bit curious. Let me jump ahead a little bit to see. Okay, 2 years ago, I can definitely see the improvement. It's a really nice weapon, really clean. Do we have wireframes? No, we don't have wireframes. If it's going to be for games, you definitely want to show wireframes, okay? I can see that you're using Boolean workflow, so that probably means that you didn't do retopology for this element, which, okay, it could be fine if it's just a high poly, but if you want to do this for games, you definitely need to show a wireframe. Then this stylized crystal book, again, simple, 2 years ago. Nice, okay. And then this vintage butcher cleaver. Okay, this one looks better, and I can definitely see the improvement throughout the years. But here's the deal, man. If this is your latest piece and it was done 5 months ago and you submitted this portfolio this month, I would like to know, and I'm not trying to like put you on the spot or anything, like if you have more recent work, show it. I know sometimes NDA doesn't allow for it, but it is very important that we keep our portfolio updated because this Daniel Jason that I'm seeing right here is not the same Daniel Jason that did this one right here 5 years ago, right? And you definitely want to be able to see only the good things from your portfolio. So I would encourage you to update your portfolio with newer pieces that you've worked for in projects in the past couple of years, because I can see that you have a better understanding of the pipeline. This is actually a really good piece, a perfectly fine piece for a portfolio. Even the gun and the books, like these 3 pieces are fine, but then these pieces make me question, like, why do you think it's a good idea to have this ones right here? And again, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just trying to show you that from a professional standpoint, this looks really polished, and then this doesn't look as polished. So you always want to have only the polished stuff. Even if it's few stuff, I think that sometimes is a better idea than having stuff that is not as polished, because these things right here could bring these other pieces down, and that's not what we want, okay? Let's go now with Sarvesh M. Nice, okay, I can definitely see you're going for a sci-fi sort of look, sci-fi sort of portfolio, which is good. I can only, like, right out of the gate, I can see that you're doing mostly modeling and a little bit of rendering. I'm gonna take a guess here that, yeah, it's Arnold Renderer, which is fine. But one of the things that you definitely need to learn, Sarvesh, is texturing. We do have some Substance Painter courses that I strongly recommend if you want to learn a little bit more about texturing, because you do have good modeling skills, but we need to improve our texturing so that we can present these pieces in an even better way. Make sure to hit number 3 when you're doing this smooths. Look at this. We can still see the faceted effect. And I can see on the topology that you do have good topology. So just press 3 to smooth it so that we can get a really clean render. Also careful with this artifacts right here. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe you didn't select the faces or something, but it's looking a little bit weird. So most of these pieces are okay. Again, I will take some of them out because they are more like student pieces or practice pieces. But you do have some pro pieces. For instance, this vintage camera right here, if you could texture this and give it the proper textures that this vintage cameras normally have, you're going to get an even better result. So I would probably keep this vintage camera, this guy right here. The robot's not a bad idea. I don't love the environment. I think the environment's a little bit distracting, but this sort of like a robot capsule, it looks really cool. So again, if you could texture it and give it some nice presentation, this is gonna like look a lot better. Check out this guy right here. Whoop. The lion, so the mechanical hard surface course for Maya. I showed the UV process and the UDIM process texturing for, or the UDIM texturing process for hard surface elements, so that you two can create really cool looking characters. But yeah, take a couple of this out, like this axe model, I don't think it's needed. This phone, I don't think it's needed. This car and maybe this helicopter might not be needed. I would probably stick with this 5 pieces up here and work on the texturing and the rendering to make them look really, really good. Let's now go with Saiyan. Wow, a lot of pieces. Okay, so usually when I see a lot of pieces, I like to focus on the top ones. Wait, I think I already saw you. I remember this guy. Yeah. We've talked about yours before. So I think we've already talked about yours. I'm just gonna make a quick comment here. So keep the important pieces, keep the big pieces, and showcase them in the best possible light. I remember telling you to remove this one, for instance, and maybe the dwarf. Like, yeah, it's a good portfolio. I can see some new pieces. I don't remember this Black Adam, but I do remember this Croxilla and the Steampunk Firefly. So go and remove some of them. Definitely take this little snowman out and just perch it a little bit to have only the best pieces here on your portfolio, Sajan. And again, I do believe we've already talked about yours a couple of or the last time. So if you haven't seen the review, go back and check it in the last portfolio review. Let's see, we got Harsh Sharma. I'm gonna go real quick into your portfolio, see if you have other pieces, but it says here that you wanted me to see this one in particular. So this is not a bad piece, but the lighting is not helping. Like this burn thing right here, it's really, really weird. Like what is that? Oh wait, you do? Oh my god, you did Bifrost, right? For fluids and stuff. Because it looks really dark, but I don't feel like this is contributing light to the whole scene. So there are a couple of things that I would definitely change on this one, but I understand what you're going for. And I think just like taking care of those, from a rendering standpoint, here's my main concern. From a rendering standpoint, I can see this huge moon over here, and I'm not seeing that illumination nowhere, like not on the trees, not on the house, nowhere. So we definitely need to have a really big lamp, a really big light hitting the houses from the top to make those things pop a little bit more. I don't want to go like looking into other things because you didn't present them on the portfolio, so maybe you don't want me to go and look at them. But this environment, for instance, is really cool. Again, rendering. We need to improve the rendering. Make it a little bit more cinematic. Probably, because it looks a little bit flat. And flat renders is the worst thing that we can do to our pieces because it makes everything look flat. Cool, we got a little note here from Cesar Corsair. It says... Hello, Warhammer. My name is Cesar. I'm from Switzerland. I've been following Nexus for some time now. Your YouTube channel is very helpful. There are a ton of great tips to take from you. Thank you. You're an amazing teacher. Your instructions are always clear and precise. Quality content. Thank you very much, my friend. You're also going to go on the map because I think I was missing Switzerland as well. So now with you, I'm going to be able to scratch it. I've been building my portfolio for the last 6 months of my final year at college. I've been specializing in vehicles, but I want to do more hard surface and or environment in the future, as I think vehicles are too restrictive in terms of jobs. Yeah. The problem with vehicles is once someone does a perfect Mustang, they just sell it and there's no need to do another perfect Mustang, right? So It can be, especially realistic vehicles, it can be really, as you say, restricted. But if you do vehicles that are for games or for like cinema, there's a lot more room over there. Okay, so let's take a look. By the way, my dad's name is Cesar as well. So we got this shot right here, ladder animation breakdown. Okay. Oh, okay. So you modeled everything. Nice, nice. Yeah, this is what I mean by good rendering. Cool. Yeah, it's a nice composition. Relatively simple, but it's a nice competition. Do we have a final render? Nice, nice. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, because it shows the whole pipeline, which is really, really cool. I would probably add a little bit of depth of field to the whole scene to make it to blur out some of the other elements, but looks really cool. It's not a bad vehicle, but as you say, it can be a little bit restrictive. And for instance, this sort of things like a tank is always a good idea. I'll probably go for a tank if you want to do a vehicle. This is cool. It looks a little bit soft. Do we have a concept from this? Eraser. Okay, yeah. Okay, it looks like is this the concept? Yeah, this is the concept. Okay. Yeah, it's not bad. It's a fun one. I like this one. Definitely a good piece. Then the McLaren, of course. Nice. Now, for vehicles, one of the main things that you want to show is the wireframe. So I don't see wireframes. We need to see wireframes because wireframes are really important for vehicles, especially because vehicles in movies, a lot of the times they're going to be doing effects where they destroy the geometry to make a crash or something. And if you don't have proper topology, then the destruction is not as good. So that's why you definitely need that. Hand painted War and Peace. A tank. Nice. Yeah, nice model. Yeah, the composition is a little bit confusing, to be honest. Like this tree right there, it distracts me a little bit from the general thing. Like I understand that the tank's supposed to be kind of like hidden, like abandoned. It's a little bit difficult to see. And again, we definitely there is a wireframe there. I will definitely include some wireframe shots on your portfolio as well, my friend, so that you don't have to get people to ask for them when they're working on it. Okay, we're gonna do two more, guys. We're gonna do Ospin and we're gonna do Leo, and then tomorrow on the live stream we'll continue after Leo with Master Block, and we'll have more on Saturday as well for everyone that submitted in Google Drive. There's still time to submit, so even though it's a little bit more work for me, that's fine. I'm always happy to help, and we'll do it right there. There you go. ONG Tenakid, very nice, man. This is really cool. You are going for a really nice sculptor approach. I can see a lot of ZBrush work. Like a lot of pieces are made with ZBrush, which is fine. My question is, do you know the whole pipeline? I think you do, because otherwise you wouldn't have like things like this. I know that's an older piece. It's really cool, man. Yeah, like doing all of this ZBrush sculpting is really cool, but some of this do look like works in progress, and I do recommend not having works in progress on your portfolio. This is really, really like dehydrated. If you want to have a character like this, they're gonna be suffering because they're gonna be super thirsty all the time. But the anatomy is top notch. I love the anatomy. Great breakup on the anatomy. And these are like sculptures that you're doing are great. There's a lot of business nowadays, by the way, guys, with 3D printing, like statues and fan arts and stuff like that. So yeah, all of this looks really, really cool. I do want to see again like a texturing process. Okay, like this mask looks a little bit better from a texturing process perspective. The face has a couple of issues, so careful with that. I'm not gonna open this because we might get banned here in YouTube. But all of this guy is really, really cool, man. Like traditional sculpting techniques. It's really nice. Yeah, so I think if you want to go into the games like pipeline or into the games studio, one of the things that you need to show ONG is it pronounced Ong? It's probably pronounced Ong or something like that. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing. But you definitely want to share or show that you know how to do, again, like retopology, textures, stuff like that. I can see you can do it right here. So yeah, this is good, man. Good stuff. I think my only advice would be again to see which pieces you really, really, really need and which pieces you might not need. This is a great sculpture. This is really good, man. Yeah, yeah, this is a great portfolio, my friend. Great portfolio. Congratulations. And now we're gonna finish with Leo Goodin. He's sharing this axe right here. This is a good axe. It's a good axes and weapons are always a good thing for people to start doing their 3D portfolio. Let me see if you have more pieces real quick. Okay, you do have more pieces. Okay, so the axe is one of the recent ones. Perfect. Let's go to the elf altar. I want to see this one. So nice, simple topology, really good textures. I really like this textures. This looks really, really good, and I can see the axe right there. So this is a little environment. I think it works really nicely. Where did you do the render? Blender, it seems, or Unreal Engine. Oh yeah, look at that. In Unreal Engine, it looks really, really, really good. I will probably do this shot as your first shot, my friend. Like don't start your portfolio here with that one. Go for something like this, because this looks really, really nice thanks to Lumen and all of the things that we have right here. So if you can get a high quality screenshot from Unreal, probably with something like this, I don't think that much fog is needed. Something that looks way cleaner and way cooler, in my opinion. But yeah, congratulations, man. This looks good. Now you do have a couple of assets that I would, again, probably not include on my stuff. Mainly this axe right here. I think this crystal axe is a little bit too basic. I do like the hand painted textures that you did. It looks nice. But compared to some of your other stuff, I would probably just, if you want to keep this axe, I would probably just combine the door, the crystal axe, and the old book into a single piece. Remember that, again, sometimes quantity is not the best option. Quality is usually better. So if you combine these three kind of like stylized elements into a single one, you might be able to get a more like interesting portfolio right here. This is very cool. I love doing this like little dioramas. They're a great way to learn 3D. And you presented this one really cleanly. So yeah, cool. Yeah, so that's it, guys. We're going to start here with Leonardo. Oh, you're from Mexico. Mi estimado, excelente. Cualquier cosa, aquí me hablas. Cualquier cosa, aquí andamos. And yeah, tomorrow we're going to continue, or yeah, during the live stream, we're going to continue with Master Plug. And we do have a couple more portfolios here, like 5 or 6. We're going to do this during the live stream, and we'll do some of the Google Drive folder as well. If you're watching this video and we haven't had the live stream yet, it's still time. Check the link down here to get to our Discord or to drop your portfolio in Google Drive, and I'll be happy to review it today or tomorrow for you. So that's it, my friends. Thank you very much. Don't forget that we have our promo code going, the All May 2023. So any of the courses, if you want to learn to do amazing things like what you're seeing here from all of the students, you can learn that too. Everyone started with no knowledge at all, and we're all moving forward to creating amazing stuff. So if you want to be one of those guys, check our Intro to Maya, Intro to ZBrush, all of the courses, or the newest course, which is the sci-fi character creation for, or sci-fi character, female sci-fi character creation. I always forget about the titles, but that one, the new one, it's got a huge discount right now here in Udemy. And that's it for now, guys. I'll see you back tomorrow with more content. Bye-bye.